September 2012, here's my review of the new TV show Revolution that's on TV. I guess this film, it kind of reminds me of a film, but this TV show is trying to do it's trying to do with like what Lost did, and like when you watch this show, it just reeks of Lost in so many ways, like because it's a great concept. And it's a great concept, and it's a really interesting dilemma to put people in these situations and see what happens. But also, what this show is really doing is like it's trying to like cross both sexes in the same kind of genre. So it gives you kind of like a mix of like a lot of things going on. But it's more of like a discovery kind of genre, if that's what you want. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And it does relate to both sexes, and I kind of see the show doing pretty well, but. You know, there are some beefs I've had in the first couple episodes. The one is that, what's with the nerdy guy following along the adventure? What's with this? Like, and I know that they're like, I know that the fans, like the fanboys are like the core audience and these kind of things, and these type of shows go to the Comic-Con and they grab these films, but doesn't the fanboy, the nerdy guy who's like, 50 pounds overweight, and they say they go on an adventure, they say if they travel far or wide, wouldn't they be hold back? Wouldn't they just travel like 2 miles and like start puking because they're like completely out of shape? And also too is that, why do we need these fanboys? Like, are you trying to please the fanboys that they're the part of the action that much? But do the fanboys really want to be part of the action? Like, don't they generally like they follow like Batman, Superman, whatever you want to call Indiana Jones? Like, don't they know they're not this guy? Isn't that why they're watching this guy? Like, they don't want to be part of the action. I just saw it like in the bomb Alcatraz that came out last year. The fanboy follow along. I don't know. Sorry for the little rant on this, but. And also too, it's like, I love the concept, but like I wish that they kind of like all the electricity goes out, and then what happens afterwards, and they do the whole little 15 years later thing. I know they're gonna do like lots of flashbacks about afterwards, but I kind of wish they just did it like 2 seconds after that happened, and all the aftermath about what's going to happen without the electricity, this whole 15 years later thing, and then all this like kind of like squashbuckling, like because there's like kind of thing. But I don't know, it's just like it seemed to be like very heavy on like action and plot, but not heavy on the characters. And we all know, learning from Lost, is that if it starts with the characters, then we'll follow along. But I know what they're doing. They're going to do exactly what Lost is, that they're going to go into these backstories like during the main timeline storylines, and they're going to go on these backstories. I understand what they're going to try to do, but at the same time, it's like the first couple episodes, it just seems so heavy on plot, and they don't seem to be taking their time with the characters. And we're like, and there's another thing too, is that they're all pretty people. Like 15 years later, there's no electricity. Like, it seems like they have curling irons and they have makeup. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. I know that you kind of need like electricity to use the curling iron on the one blonde character. And other than that, the whole thing about when electricity goes on, there was a big blackout in 2004, and the whole like eastern side of North America went out, like especially the city that I was in, Toronto, and it blacked out for 24 hours. And all I know is that 9 months later, there was like a 200% surplus at the hospitals because all these babies were being born. And all I know is that there's probably going to be a whole fucking lot of people, because if there's a blackout and people are bored, there's going to be a whole lot of fucking going on, and people are going to be having a lot of sex. Because because back in the day when people were repressed sexually, that's like, you know what I mean? Like when people were repressed sexually back in the day, they didn't have what we have now. So it's a two-end sword. One, there's nothing else to do because electricity is all off. Two, most of us have seen porn and understand the concept of sex, so we're going to run rampant. So all of a sudden, like 15 years later, it's going to be like the population is going to be like 20 billion people, because everybody's going to be having sex for those 15 years. No? Am I wrong here? Anyways, I am looking forward to seeing what they're doing next, because this show does have a lot of potential. That's my review.